Shalom. Koholo Yahweh Bashin Awashai Bahashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. To the scattered, hopefully elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, that are among the heathen nations, the Israelite foreigners. And the Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm coming at you with another lesson. And this video that I'm going to profile is called, Did the Movie See the Crisis Coming? COVID-19 and Movies. And the truth of the matter is, movies are messages. All right. Predictive programming is very real. All right, that's why it's called Hollywood or Hollows Wood. Remember, the Hollows Wood was the wood that was used to make magic wands with and do witchcraft with and that whole sort of thing. That's why it's called the media. All right, because mediums communicate with spirits. So it's all witchcraft. And the way magic tricks work is when you watch a magician perform, they always tell you what they're going to do before they do it. That's how magic works. So when they broadcast to you purges, death by plagues, fires, riots, plagues, martial law, all these things in movies, they were giving you messages so that when the bloodshed comes, all right, according to the gods and the demons that they worship, all right, even if you read in the Talmud, if you tell someone that you're going to take their life when you do it, then it's not murder or you're justified. This is what we're dealing with. This is 2 Corinthians 2:11, and it reads, Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And Satan means adversary, human adversary. That's what Satan means. Okay. Next scripture, Sirach 42:18. He seeketh out the deep and the heart, and considereth their crafty devices. For Yahweh knoweth all that they may be known, and he beholdeth the signs of the world. So the Lord revealed all to the prophets. And through his prophets, being the mouthpiece of the Lord, they've been telling the people this for a very long time. And we have plenty of videos to bear witness, to bear record of it. From the apostles on down to the newest brother on the other side of the line. So without any further ado, we're going to play this short video and then I'll finish up with a few scriptures. And I'm utilizing my Right to Information Act on this. So I don't own this. I don't profit from this. I'm using it for informational purposes and educational purposes only.
So I think I'm dealing with quarantine pretty well. I will admit I hit a bit of a low point last night and did a deep dive into the internet. And I kept coming across the same question. Could we have seen this all coming? Well, I'll tell you what. Back in 2011, Hollywood was definitely onto something.
On day one, there were 2 people, and then 4, and then 16. In 3 months, it's 1 billion. That's where we're headed.
So, the virus originates in China. Check. It's transmitted by touch. Check. Scientists are scrabbling to develop a vaccine. Check. Airports are abandoned, shops are ransacked, and doctors are repeating the same mantras to try and halt the pandemic. Check, check, and check.
The average person touches their face 3 to 5 times every waking minute. In between, we're touching doorknobs, water fountains, and each other.
Today, start working on not touching your face, because one main way viruses spread is when you touch your own mouth, nose, or eyes.
And the entertainment industry's eerie foresight doesn't end there. We know that The Simpsons has developed a reputation for predicting the future, like Donald Trump becoming president, the invention of autocorrect and smartwatches, and even a Nobel Prize winner. But hardcore fans are now convinced the show anticipated Tom Hanks's recent coronavirus diagnosis. That's on top of another episode where an Asian worker coughs into a box, sends it to Homer, and causes an outbreak in Springfield.
Good Lord. Flu germs entering every orifice in my head.
And if you're a Disney fan, you might remember 2010's Tangled. Well, turns out our golden-haired beauty was self-isolating in a kingdom called none other than Corona.
Wait a minute here. In Tangled, Rapunzel is trapped in a tower, quarantined, and hidden from the kingdom named Corona. Did anybody else realize this?
Tangled, the Disney movie, about a girl who's isolated from the kingdom of Corona. Well played.
So we are all stuck at home, like Rapunzel trapped in her tower in Tangled, the kingdom of Corona.
And for you basketball fans out there wondering how you'll pass your time now that the NBA has temporarily shut up shop, well, if you'd watched Space Jam, you might have been better morally prepared. Sure, it was a villainous alien who brought the sports league to its feet, but close enough. And it's not just Hollywood, which is ominously on point. 1981 novel The Eyes of Darkness touches on a deadly weapon developed in a city few had heard of until 2020, but which now, for better or for worse, will go down in the history books.
They call the stuff Wuhan 400, and it was the 400th viable strain of man-made microorganisms created at that research centre. Wuhan 400 is a perfect weapon.
And in this new pandemic, self-quarantining reality we're finding ourselves in, the delivery guy has gone from the man who never got to you fast enough to the man who might literally save you after you peaked too early and snuffled all the snacks. Well, if you're a gamer with an eagle eye, 2019's Death Stranding delivery man is 2020's hero, willing to climb any mountain to get you your supplies. So, it seems that maybe life isn't actually that much stranger than fiction.
So, this is Job 5 and 12. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Because he is now forced to move fast because people are so informed. All right, here you go with the whole video that was done by, well, whoever did this video. And we've been saying this information all along. So these are regular citizens, man. Regular people. Basically saying the same thing we've been saying all along. All right, there couldn't be that many coincidences in the world. I'm no mathematician, but I imagine the mathematical equation that it would take for that many things to happen the exact same. It's probably an impossible mathematical equation that could not ever be done. All right, so this was purposefully done. This is 2 Ezra 9 and 20, and it reads, So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices were come into it. So guess what? This isn't the first nor the last virus. There are going to be more and more deadly viruses that come after this one, and more and different plagues and different things. Why? Because the Bible said so. The Lord is beginning to visit the world which he created. Matter of fact, we can go to the beginning of the chapter. This is 2 Ezra 9. I'm going to read verses 1 through 4. And it said, He answered me and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then thou Salakia, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spoke of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So the end was declared in the beginning, and the end is nigh. Last scripture. This is no. Psalms 33:10, and it reads, Yahweh bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught, and he maketh the devices of the people non-effect, because these things are not going to affect the Lord's plan. As a matter of fact, this is a part of the Lord's plan. The trap that he has set, he's going to break his own foot in it. And he's just going to destroy himself. All right, like it said in the scripture, art thou not that fourth beast which I made to reign in my world, which end came through yourself? So they created, he created the smith, which created the waster, and that's going to be the last plague. The last plague are going to be those fiery arrows that are fired from one end of the earth to the other. And if you can't figure that out, then you're lie IQ. You need to go back to school. Call Halal Yahweh Bashim Abishai, Bashim Wakak Wadash. Wa Abba Babal. Shalom.